Today I'm going to teach you how I make a real easy 2-ingredient hair treatment. It's with rosemary and coconut oil, and let's go out and get what we need from the garden. Before we step outside, I have some stuff already drying here. This is lemon thyme. It is wonderful. The handyman grows it. I have a small plant of it, but he's got mounds of it. So he grabbed a bunch, and I'm just drying it here. It's so good. I also have some peppermint drying here. I'll use that in tea at some point. And I'm going to go out now, and in addition to getting the rosemary for the hair treatment, I'm also going to pick some red clover. After about a week and a half of 80+ degree temperatures, we are now in the 70s this whole week, so it's absolutely perfect. It's about 9 a.m. It's a little below 60 degrees. Just could not be happier. Still recovering from that pneumonia. I'm very, very tired, but I slept well last night, so I'm going to do this and take it easy the rest of the day. Here are the patches of red clover. I'm just going to go through and cut off the flowers that look like they're healthy and big, and then I'll dry them in the window. This whole front area was completely green about a week ago, and I know the cycle here. It's green, it's fresh, full of flowers and bees, and now it's starting to die off. When it becomes mostly brown, I'm just going to go through and have it mowed down. Right now there's still wildflowers, and the bees are enjoying them, and I just like having everything run its natural course here. Cat's busy checking it out. Other things I need to worry about out here are snakes and scorpions. Handyman found a scorpion here the other day, and of course we had 2 rattlesnakes last year. So I'm just walking careful and getting what I need and getting out. I went to one patch of the garden and picked some red clover there, and every day I'll go and to another patch. Probably would have been better if done this a week ago, but like I said, this recovery from pneumonia has slowed me down tremendously, but there's still plenty out there. I was able to get some rosemary from my fresh rosemary bush. Here they are. There's just 2 pieces. So let's go and start the hair treatment with this. Basically, you just need these 2 ingredients of some fresh rosemary. I suppose you could use dried. I've never done it. I've always been fortunate enough to have fresh rosemary out in my gardens. And coconut oil. And this is the jar I use, at least the size I use. It has one of those little lids, like apothecary lid, and I keep this in my shower. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. I suppose you could put it in another container and cook it down, or put it in the crock pot and strain it, but I'm just too lazy. So I'm just going to take this and cut it up and put it directly into the container. This is the same container I'm going to use in the sun, and it's the container I'm going to put in the shower, and it's just a one pot thing here. So there we go. So here's the coconut oil. As you know, coconut oil can be as solid or as liquid as the temperature around it is. This was in the refrigerator. I took it out last night, so I think I can dig the coconut oil out. I considered putting it out in the sun a little bit this morning to make it liquid, but like I said, yeah, it's easy enough. So basically, I'm just gonna put the coconut oil in here, several spoonfuls, and I'm gonna put it in the sun and just let that rosemary just infuse the oil. So here it is. I pretty much loosely filled up the rest of the container with the coconut oil, and I'm going to set this outside in the sun and just let it infuse all day. And here it is. I put the lid loosely on top, mainly to keep stuff from flying in there. I could put a paper towel on top, I guess, or plastic, and I'm just going to let this sit out here, liquefy, and just kind of cook and infuse until this evening. All right, it's been about an hour or so. It's sunny. I'm looking at the amount of rosemary in there. I don't know if you can see it as well as I can, but I think I'm going to double what I had in there. So I went out and cut some more sprigs of rosemary, and I'm going to cut them up and put them in our melted coconut oil and let it all infuse. I cut up those 2 sprigs of rosemary and put them in my oil here in the jar, and it's a little fuller and looks a little bit more like it should be looking. All right, it's end of the day. My rosemary infusion has been out about 8 hours, and you can see it's turned kind of a khaki green. Now, there's a couple things I could do right now with it. One of them is I could take some cheesecloth and strain it and put it back in the bottle strained, or just pour it into another bottle or whatever. I might do that later. Right now I don't have any cheesecloth because of this pneumonia. I really have not left the house in a while. So I'm just going to leave it there, and at some point, if an opportunity comes up to strain it out, I'll strain it out. But it doesn't bother me. It's for my own use. Now this is quite a bit. I'll probably go through it in a couple months because my hair is long. But if you don't think you're going to go through it, I suggest freezing it. That's what I do with my things I make with olive oil or with coconut oil and plants, because plants do degrade. So I have these little tiny boxes, plastic boxes, containers from Dollar Tree, and I will apportion it, you know, whatever I'm making, into those little tiny boxes and label them and put them in the freezer and take them out when I need to. And then you don't have to worry about mold or things going wrong or bad with them. I don't know that this is for every hair type. This is my natural hair. It's my natural hair color. I don't know what the effect would be on dyed hair, and it will definitely darken your hair if you have light hair naturally. One of the benefits, which I'm going to have to check, is it evidently can also darken gray. So I have quite a bit of gray here, and on the other side, I don't know, under my hair there, I've got 2 wings of gray, and the gray doesn't bother me, but if it's going to help darken it, then what the heck. I've never noticed in the past doing that, but I'm not a person who really notices that sort of stuff, so don't look at me for any sort of beauty advice here. This is how I use it. I'll take some, I have this in the shower, and I'll scoop some out. If it's a colder day, it'll be harder. If it's a warmer day, it'll be liquid. And I'll rub some on my scalp, not a lot, but I'll make sure my scalp is really well massaged with this. This is on dry hair, okay? And then the rest of it, I will put more on the ends where my hair is drier, and kind of do it that way. I think there's as much benefit to the massaging of the scalp as there is to whatever you're massaging into it. So rosemary is supposed to be very good for hair growth. It's also good, I've noticed when I use it regularly, it's good for just my hair looking better and healthier. So after I've massaged it into the scalp and I've kind of combed some of it through, don't put too much in. You can overdo, and then you end up with this huge greasy thing. I'd start with like a dime's worth and put it in your hands and see where it gets you. It can go very far. And of course you can expand or contract. When I'm done doing all the massaging and the combing, I take a towel and I put my hair up like in a towel turban and just leave it there for 30 minutes to an hour. It stays warm. The towel kind of keeps your head warmth with the oil, and I just let it set. After that time has elapsed, I take off the towel, I go in, take a shower, wash my hair like regular, condition it, and do what I usually do when I take care of my hair. I found that my hair is easier to comb and less flyaway, and it's great for hair growth and all those things. So I'm very pleased with this. I've been using it for several years. My big mistake this last winter was not to make enough to get me through the winter. This was outside for about 8 hours, and I don't have that much sunshine in the winter, so I just ran out and I didn't have any in the freezer. So by midwinter, my hair was just not looking good. So this time I'm definitely going to continue to make it and keep up making it, and even put some in the freezer to get me through the winter. This last winter was like 6 months long, and you know, I need to have some backup there. If you don't want to put it in the sun, or you can't, I mean, you could put it on a windowsill too. I suggest putting it in some sort of glass, like a jar, something that's not breakable with heat, and putting it in some water, either on the stovetop or in a double boiler or with the crock pot, and just let it cook that way. I'm a big believer in using the sun and the natural elements as much as possible, the weather, whatever, to do the work here. But in the winter, I understand it's difficult. Not everyone has access to that. I'm working on I have a couple other little herbal things that I do and infusions that I do, and I'm working on more of them as my herb garden grows here and as I become familiar with the plants that are native to where I live. I am really trying to broaden my expertise in those areas. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. It was nice to be outside. Good luck with your hair and everything else. Thank you so much for watching.